Hi guys, so today I'm going to be talking to you about why it's so important to be bilingual. In today's society, we come across a lot of different people from a lot of different cultures, backgrounds, and even countries in some cases. And it's really common to find people who don't speak the exact same language as you. So being able to speak a different language is going to help you communicate with them and eliminate any language barrier that might be there. Imagine yourself walking down a street in a busy city, not knowing where you're going, and you need to ask for directions. And the only person that you can ask doesn't speak English. If you speak another language that they speak as well, then you can help communicate, figure out where you're going, and accomplish what you need to do. And it gives you it gives you a sense of accomplishment, and you feel good after doing it as well. Um, this is just an example of many things that being able to speak a different language provides you. It's really important because today's society is a melting pot. It's also relevant if you go on vacation to a different country, and it can even help you in job opportunities like getting careers and increasing your salary. So like I said, with mixed cultures in the melting pot, you find Japanese people living in Hawaii. A lot of people who live in France are Algerian, and something that we can all relate to is the huge Spanish population in the United States. According to PewResearch.com, 37.6 million people who live in the United States speak Spanish, which is an astonishing number, and so you're probably going to come across someone who can always speak Spanish. Being able to speak Spanish and ask for assistance and speak to them so they can understand you is going to help avoid any confusing situations and also help those people assimilate. They should also be trying to learn the native tongue of the country they are in, but speaking to them in their native tongue will help them assimilate and feel more comfortable around you and know that they are trying. I've been in DC before. If I've had to ask somebody for directions and they didn't know any English, I asked, "Where's this restaurant?" They looked at me and said, "No habla inglés." Well, I've taken Spanish in high school before, so I was able to communicate with them, figure out where I was going, and accomplish what I needed to do. And that was really good. I felt good about myself, and it's really a cool feeling to be able to communicate in a different language like that. And also a big thing about learning to speak Spanish, and like how I learned it in school, is there's lots of scholarship opportunities. According to schoolstud.com, there's hundreds of opportunities for scholarships with getting free tuition, being able to travel abroad, and all sorts of different things that are really great opportunities to take advantage of if we are able to learn another language. So like I said about traveling abroad is visiting other countries. Now, especially in Europe, there's so many different countries so close together and so many of them speak a different language. And if you're going to visit another country, you should probably know the language so that you're able to function while you're visiting that country, being able to ask certain common things and communicate to the average person there. Not only will it make your time more enjoyable by doing this, but it also is a sign of respect to other people. By going into their country and not knowing their language, it's kind of disrespectful. It shows that you're not really taking the time to enjoy their culture and participate in their community and society. You rather just be a burden on them and make it more difficult for them to have you there. And the whole tourist thing kind of goes over badly in Europe and different countries like that. I'm going to Italy in the summer, so I'm trying to learn a little bit of Italian. So I can relate to this. I wouldn't want to go to Italy and not know anything in Italian and not be able to ask directions and that type of thing. And according to omniglot.com, they give examples just like that. In case of emergencies, if you need to ask directions, or even little things like suggestions for restaurants or what you want to, or how to order or to rent a car, knowing that language in that country is going to extremely benefit you and make your trip a lot more enjoyable and less worrisome. And finally, what I mentioned earlier when I was starting off this speech was being able to know a different language will help you in a career environment. If you're applying to a job and you know a different language, you already set yourself apart from a large pool of people. Your application immediately becomes golden as compared to theirs that just says plain and unoriginal. Being able to speak a different language, you're probably one of very few people in your workplace who can speak that language and apply it if necessary, and that makes you an asset to the company. That makes you a lot less or a lot harder to replace if they had to make job cuts or if they needed somebody else to fill positions. Hospitals, this is a big thing. Spanish people who come into the hospitals here in America, you find it more and more often that doctors and nurses are having to speak Spanish to communicate with these people because they have no knowledge of the English language. Being able to speak with them provides better health care for them, better service, and it makes the process a lot less complicated and easygoing. ABC News even says how being able to speak Spanish, French, German, Italian, or any other language in a career field can increase your salary up to 5%, which doesn't sound like much, but if you're a doctor or a nurse making six figures, 5% is a big chunk of change and can be really noticed at the end of the year if you're trying to save for a down payment on a house or get a new car or any amount of different things. So finally, guys, I just hope that you've been able to take away from this why being bilingual is so important and how it's relevant to us in today's society, how we're able to apply it in everyday situations, and it shouldn't be a chore, it should be fun, and it should be something that you want to do to better yourself as a person and help yourself succeed and enjoy things more in life and help others succeed and enjoy things as well. So thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you go out and become bilingual.